Is that it? Okay, we're up. We're up. And there's one person on. Hello, one person on. Let me close that. Moderating. There's no one in the chat yet, but maybe they will. Hi, I'm back. I don't know for how long, but I'm currently back. Explanation to follow. Hello, if you've missed us. This is stream number 31, which should have been stream number 32, but as I said previously, got to pay the bills first. So that's just the way it is. I've got to stop saying I need to be very comfortable with silences. Hello, two people watching. What has gone on? There's lots and lots of news. There's lots of things have happened. First thing that's happened is that the bathroom is very near completion. As far as I can tell, there is painting work, electrical, and the electrical is, put the PowerPoint on, put the light switches on, put the light and the fan in the ceiling. That probably doesn't get done until the painting is done. There is silicon work to happen, a shower screen to go in, possibly 2 cupboards on the wall, and then that would be it. And then all the sort of, I'm guessing the builder will have to paint the hallway. By 2 people that were watching, the builder will probably have to paint the hallway where the doorway has changed location. But it's cold tonight. It's cold. It was quite warm today, but I think if I check my steps today, about 17,000 steps for the day. It has been very busy. Howdy ho, Matt. Yeah, there's a few steps that were achieved today. Lots of walking. It was the last day with students today. Not great turnout from students, but hey, I think the ones that came enjoyed themselves. And I've got stuff to show as well. I hope anyone that's watching saw my video about this screwdriver. I really like it. Hello, dear. And everyone should go and check out Language Learning for Beginners channel and Aussie Matt 61's channel because they make some excellent content, and some of it even has me in it. Well, some of Language Learning for Beginners has me in it. That might be a reason to not. Anywho, let's get to stuff on the bench. There's other news coming, but I don't want to spoil it yet. There's more news coming that's good news. No, it's not babies. Anyone that no, it's not. All right. Immediately when you've like moved to a bigger house or whatnot, and you say I've got news, people think, oh, babies. It's not. All right. So what happened? Basically, where we were staying, we had to leave. So we've come back here. The build is nearly done. We'll have to be out by 8 o'clock in the morning to make sure that and Billy, the dog, who is currently asleep in the house, will also have to be out by 8 o'clock to let the builders do their thing. And hopefully it won't make too much of a difference. They sort of planned things out for us to be in the house anyway. And we'd said, oh, look, we're not going to be here. For them, the builders have been really good with any changes to the schedule. And we didn't really change anything we wanted, but like we realized we didn't have a tap and we didn't have a cabinet. And they've sorted that out, which is excellent. All right. I'll point the camera down and get off of my face. So beware, Blair Witch movement happening. So this is a donation. Thank you, Kim, for this donation. I like old things. I've got a few things, a few. Oh, I don't want to give what that is away. Partially because I haven't read the book about it yet. So let's open this up, and I'm just going to move. Hopefully the keyboard doesn't. I don't press any buttons on the keyboard. I am absolutely exhausted and hungry. I was very close. I was just out before, and I was that far away from going through the drive-thru. Only one thing stopped me, and that's that it was 10 o'clock, and the drive-thru closes at 10. So this, it's an LG. Oh, it's got spare batteries. Ooh, posh. 2025s. Oh, 12 volt, still sealed, factory fresh. It is an LG portable DVD player with TFT LCD. 9.5 volts AC adapter. cool. Oh, it's got like a big battery pack on the back of it. It's got a big removable battery pack. Let's see if I pull this. It says open. Does that? No. I would have thought it slid off or something. No. Doesn't say. Battery pack. Oh, it's a LiPo. It's probably in good shape. And oh, that is very, very 2000 chic. I mean, this was cutting edge tech, wasn't it? A little active matrix screen. And the cool thing about this is I wonder if I'll be able to plug it in through the little telly, because it's got a component out. I think it might work. No, AV in. What's it got? AV and DVD. Ooh, maybe that means I could actually plug this in and use this as a monitor. Well, it doesn't have a tuner, but that's kind of cool. I like it. And it's got the little remote and a nifty case. Love tools in a case. There's the nifty remote. Very nice. It has a power cable. Can I plug it in and try it? Should I plug it in? Let's plug it in. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? Let's try. I just wiggle things around. But it's suddenly got a tad cool. Oh, and there's the power button. Okay. DC in 9.5 voltmeters. Yep, output 9.5 volts. 3.3 amps. Wow. Doesn't that mean it's 27 watt? No, 30 watts or something? I'll have to do some calculation. It's turning on. It's looking for a disc. I don't think I have it. Have I got a disc you can play? I could put a CD in, couldn't I? Prepare to be copyright struck. I'll put in. We've got to put in Pennybridge. Let's have some late 90s goodness. When did this come out? It was a 98, 99. Loading. It's loading. Oh. There's probably a volume knob somewhere. And that'll be enough for the police. That's pretty good. Ready? I'll change track. Oh, hang on, I'll go to. Oh no, that one should be good. Yep, it's working great. All right. Stop and the noise. That's really cool. I'd like to keep that in here because I think if I get the right cables, I can use that to test my cool little TVs, which I plan on doing. Ooh, didn't like stopping, but that's okay. It stopped eventually. Nice. Thanks for that, Kim. Excelente. Hopefully the YouTube police didn't mind that too much. And power is down. Pew. All right. Let's watching too much of Rain Man Ray. Nicely. Oh, hello. Is that the cable? Ooh, I think it is. Yeah. Oh, now I need to find a DVD to try on it. I can't do it right now, but I will. I don't have a DVD to try on it yet, but I suppose what I could do is I could play it and then have it coming through the little telly. Oh, see, I'm having ideas. Very cool. Oh. More batteries. What else happened this week? We tried fixing a TV, and it seemed to work for a little bit. And now I've got another TV to try and fix. And it looks like capacitors. It's got sort of a funny, jittery, juttery image, but only on what should be this. Well, it's kind of. It's not the on-screen display. The on-screen display is quite clear, so it's something affecting, video processing or something. So could it be a board? Maybe. If it is, well, I guess it just goes to scrap. But if it's something like a capacitor, well, that's a fairly easy fix. That's pretty cool. Alrighty, that's one. Where can I put this safely? I will safely put it down here. The next thing, where it is, oh, here we go. And my dad brought all kinds of goodies up when he visited, because he's just gone home. So this is probably, this is probably a bit of a giveaway, but this is a SAW, SOAR. It is a SAW automatic ranging pen type digital multimeter from the SAW Corporation, not the schlock horror films. 3.5 digit LCD layout. Method of measurements for DC voltag. Set the function select switch to the V position. Turn model 31000 power switch on. The unit is now set to measure DC volts. Now, I remember my dad having one of these, and I thought it looked very much like, this is going to sound so sad. I thought it looked very much like the, what was it? The sonic lance in Doctor Who. So that's the voltage. So it's got voltage and resistance. AC 500 volts. I probably wouldn't try it. Now, what's it got? Push it down. DC or AC off. Oh, and it's got data holding. Cool. Made in Japan. 2 LR44s. Does it work? Does it turn on? Ta-da! Oh, it does. Nifty. So this is obviously your negativer. So you would clip this onto something, and oh, hello, I've got a text. 1,540 millivolts, so 1.5 volts. That's a good cell. Cool. That's kind of nifty. So I guess you'd normally, it's got a clip type thing somewhere there. So I guess what you would do is ram that up that thing's butt like that, and then you clip this onto a ground, and then you could be busy probing away in things. That's quite nice. Thanks, Dad. That's kind of cool. Well, it isn't kind of cool. It's very cool. I like that. Quite nifty. And, when no one else is watching, I can reenact scenes from Attack of the Cybermen with the sonic lance. I'll just get like a Tupperware container and hide it somewhere and pretend it's going to blow up the cryons. For anyone else that's seen that episode, I like it. And it's another meter for the collection. Nice. Oh, and he's also brought me a pin straightener IC lead former tool, which I haven't looked at too closely, but it's made in Taiwan. It's made in Taiwan, and I'm not going to make a silly joke because I don't want this stream taken down. So that's nifty. All right, on to these. Let's see, I've got random capacitors for fixing televisions. So hopefully I'll, if there's one that it needs in particular, I might have it. We'll have a look. It might be dry joints. No. What does my text message say? Oh, that is not good news. One moment. All right. So these screwdrivers, I'm really impressed with this. I used this to assemble a giant shoebox the other night with, it was a project by a student who didn't finish it and unfortunately didn't come in to make any sort of, I shouldn't say make any effort, but he didn't manage to come in and do anything extra on it. That's probably for that meter. And so I finished it and painted it, and I was just reassembling it the other night, and it had some very small hinges that had very small screws, and this was excellent. Ergonomically, very nice. And I do love that you can swap the bits. I think this might go in my Dalek kit, but to be honest, I like it too much to only keep it for when I travel. I think this is probably the go-to. It is very, very cool. There was another thing, and I just realized I said again. I'm sorry. What was the other thing? Fix It Fingers. I've got your things ready to send. And Peter Anderson, if you are into, I'll just say anyone that's watching, if you're into cars, particularly Australian cars, have a look at Peter Anderson's channel. There's a lot of stuff to do with bikes, but some sort of classic Aussie cars, and they're not necessarily, he likes his V8 Fords and things like that, but he's got a really good series about a Mitsubishi Sigma, which to me is, that's a classic Australian car from my era. But he does a lot of stuff with Toyota Starlets. He needed some things 3D printed in a previous video, and I just happened to catch that he needed them printed, so I printed some and sent them over, and apparently they arrived and fit really well, so I'm very happy for him. And James Finger, I'm very jealous of your new saw, and I do hope to join in the coffee table to pallet challenge. In fact, I've been keeping an eye out on Marketplace for free coffee tables, because I'm not really financial to be able to buy one at the moment to cut up and try and turn into a pallet. But I hope to do that. What was the other thing that I was going to mention? I don't know. Lost it. Jaws. Now, hopefully, if we manage to stay here, hopefully Jaws will get some more work done before Christmas, because I'd really like to have that finished and working. And I'm just going to check my message again. I'm very sorry. But yeah, we, at the moment, I might even look. Hold on, let me just, can I find? So the problem is at the moment, for us, obviously we have members of our family that have had COVID. We have members of our family that haven't had COVID. The restrictions have eased significantly, and there is now, well, hang on, I'm just going to look for let me look at what the official latest updates. Let's have a look there. Maybe later. I don't care about Xbox One, sorry. Right. So here we go. And by the way, it's not even confirmed that anyone that we know has COVID. I've already had it. My wife's already had it. Our son hasn't had it. Thank you, Mrs. Cameron. I'm still convinced it's your hot dogs. My mum hasn't had it, and she's on immune suppressors, so that's a concern. And mum's partner hasn't had it, and they'd like to keep it that way. But having 5 people living under one roof, it would become quite difficult, to distance from each other. And it basically was putting mum at further risk because she didn't have any neutral area she could go to. So we came home and have basically spent the last few hours frantically cleaning all the dust up in our house from the building work, which hopefully the builders will come in tomorrow and be really happy with, but it just took vacuums upon vacuums and mopping upon mopping and dusting and washing of walls and things to try and get it to a place where we can come in and hopefully get to sleep tonight. And like dust just travels, plaster dust and concrete dust, it just migrates under doors and from area to area. So it took a lot of effort. Anyway, at the moment, the rules around COVID in southern Bumfudge are a little bit, well, they're lax because the largest part of the pandemic or the curve this year has passed. So here we go. From the 23rd of November 2022, all COVID-19 requirements under Section 90C of the Southern Bumfudge Public Health Act will be lifted. There are important things we can all continue to do to protect ourselves and others from COVID-19 and other respiratory diseases. Stay at home if you're sick. Get tested if you have symptoms or have COVID-19 symptoms. Follow the Southern Bumfudge health advice if you test positive or are a close contact. Stay up to date with your vaccinations. Practice good hand hygiene. Wear a mask in crowded places, especially where there are higher case numbers. Consider doing rapid antigen tests before visiting people at higher risk of severe illness. We have rats at the ready, and I'll be masking up at work tomorrow, and it's a day without students, and I plan to just tuck myself away in the office, barring having any symptoms tomorrow. Spend time in well-ventilated outdoor areas or outside in the fresh air. So there are things you can do. Let's go to, if you test positive, what should I do? Here we go. Now, in Southern Bumfudge, there is no longer the mandate to stay at home. All right. So here we go. It says to reduce the risk to others if you test positive to COVID-19. This is from the Southern Bumfudge Health website. So this is the official line, and I don't know if it's got a date on this, but let's see. Last updated 23rd November 2022. It's the most up-to-date one that was just mentioning. Okay. If you test positive in a PCR test, you'll receive a text message from SA Health and or the lab telling you that you've tested positive. If you test positive using a rapid antigen test, I was 0 for 20. You should report your positive result. I'll turn this up so you can see my face. So you can see this is the face of what I look like when I'm having to read things. Sorry about the Blair Witch camera movement. You'll receive a text message to reduce the risk to others. If you test positive to COVID-19, you should stay home until your acute symptoms have cleared, usually 5 to 7 days. Now, acute symptoms are not just coughing and sneezing. All right, acute symptoms are anything that has come on that made you think, ooh, maybe I've got COVID. All right, so basically, you stay home until you don't have any more symptoms. All right, if you had a really bad headache and then the next day you've only got a slightly bad headache, that's still acute symptoms. All right, if you're burning up one day but the next day you're still a little bit warm, that's acute symptoms. All right, if you're still having spells of dizziness, they're acute symptoms. All right, this is just me being overprotective, but that is the whole thing. That acute symptoms are sudden onset symptoms that were not there previously. So until you have no symptoms that don't have the symptoms that you had, you need to, it says you should stay home. It doesn't say you have to, and I get that. It's like it at the supermarket, it doesn't say you have to return the shopping trolley, but you should. That's just, surely your conscience guides you to do the right thing. If you must leave the house, wear a mask when indoors or on public transport. Avoid large gatherings and crowded indoor places. Don't visit people at high risk of severe illness or anyone in a hospital or aged care or disability care facility for at least 7 days. Speak with your employer about when to return to work. If you work in a high risk setting such as health, disability, and aged care, you might need to stay away from work longer to protect other staff, patients, residents, and clients. If you test positive for COVID-19, you may be infectious for up to 10 days. but you are most infectious in the 2 days before your symptoms start, and while you have symptoms, runny nose, sore throat, cough, and fever. So there you go. There's some of those acute symptoms. If you've still got a runny nose, still got a sore throat, still got a cough, even if it's a little bit better, they're still, they're still the acute symptoms. Tell your close contacts. It's likely you will have been in close contact with other people while you're infectious. Your close contacts include people living with you or who you have spent a lot of time with indoors. You are considered infectious 2 days before your symptoms started. If you didn't have any noticeable symptoms, you are considered infectious 2 days before you had your positive test taken. And so, yeah, the rest of it is just about managing your symptoms. So I understand people's, what's the best way to say? Maybe lax. Yeah, they've relaxed now because the requirement to stay at home if you are sick has relaxed. Essentially, SA Health, I don't think they've said, hey, go out if you're sick and go to work if you're sick. Really, it's the responsibility's been put back on people. Which, funnily enough, the people that were complaining about having to stay home during lockdowns and isolation and stuff had said, why don't we have the trust put back in us? Well, the trust has been put back in. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's really doing much. We've already heard stories locally of, I can't name names, but certain businesses that are knowingly, serving customers while knowingly having infectious staff with symptoms. So we thought the best thing to do would be, and we don't have symptoms, by the way. It's just that somebody in the house we were sharing had symptoms, so we decided, hey, let's go, because it gave space to mum to be able to have her own bathroom again, which was, because otherwise she'd be sharing. Probably a bit too much detail, sorry. So we've come back to our place because we do have a second bathroom. It's the one we've been using for the last 2 and a bit years. So hopefully this just works out. And if there's a PCR test and it comes back negative, then maybe by that time the bathroom will be finished. We'd be moved back in anyway. Who knows? So that's the explanation. That's why we're back. We came back really suddenly. It wasn't meant to be anything more than, I think we're almost at the end of our second week, or are we almost at the end of the third week? I don't remember. It's been November 28th they started. So it's the end of our second week. We were kind of hoping it would be like 10 days, and it's more. It's been a bit more than that. But it looks good. We had an issue with tiles and a local business. Third week this week. Like this week that we're in now. This is our third week. I don't know. I'm tired. Anyway, it's looking really good. It'll be lovely when it's done. And hopefully I can provide more news about the exciting things. Not that this isn't exciting. And not that I'm saying babies wouldn't be exciting, but we're not having babies at the moment. Not that I know of anyway. Anyway, people are going to be thinking I'm just in denial about babies. But just when you have week 3 started yesterday. Okay. There we go, yeah. Oh, yeah, it is Tuesday. It's Tuesday now. I keep thinking it's like Friday, and it's not. So hopefully it'll be done in under 3 weeks, which would be, I think it said 14 days, business days, and then 3 weeks would be 15 business days. That's pretty good. All right. I have prattled on far too much. I am absolutely knackered. Thank you, everyone who's been watching. Matt, I will send you some photos of the shoebox that's all decorated in its Air Jordan finery, and we'll see what happens to it. And I hope to catch you sometime soon. All right, everyone. I am going to go and find a bed to sleep in. Goodbye.